Okay, let's see. I want to report in today. I sort of turned over a new leaf yesterday, and I'm drilling down on the Wheat Belly diet. I did get the Good Wheat Belly cookbook, 30 minutes. This will be backwards, but it's 30-minute or less cookbook for Wheat Belly diet. And I realized that my initial foray into the Wheat Belly diet was just to cut out wheat. But I am realizing now from reading the book and looking at the recipes that what I really need to do is cut out all grains. I was going to corn because I was saying, well, that's not wheat. So I was eating my cornbread, my corn chips. Well, no, that's how I gained the weight. And also the sugars. I knew that it was basically a low glycemic diet. They were using sugar substitutes, stevia, Truvia, and I was using real sugar. And so if you're eating sugar and you're just substituting corn chips for, wheat, you're going to gain weight. And one of my goals is, I did have the great success with no mucus, so I definitely had an allergic reaction to wheat, which I subsumed or eliminated from that, reduced. But now I don't want to just go off the rails, and use the Wheat Belly diet as an excuse. My misconstruing of Wheat Belly diet, which is, I really wasn't getting enough of the true information that's provided. So, I knew that if I was eating drinking chocolate egg creams and slapping up whipped cream, it was a recipe for disaster. Um, I got the weight gain. That's fine. I weighed in today at 131, so went down a little bit just from that awareness, by almost a pound, so that's good. And yesterday at about, I'd say right when I went to meditation, I turned over a new leaf. I did go to exercise afterwards, and I was listening to a Rich Roll podcast. He's one of my favorite podcasters. He had a guy on there who ran across the United States trying to promote veganism, and he had a coconut ice cream. I think it's Nadamu ice cream, coconut ice cream as his sponsor, and they gave out ice cream as they went across the United States. And even ice cream, I'm realizing that that's not part of my budget because the replacement ice creams are very expensive. But I have something called a Yonana, which you can make ice cream out of frozen bananas, and I'm going to get the recipe book out and see all the kind of tasty substitute ice creams I can create. Low calorie, very satisfying desserts, so that's going to be on my list to do. A fun thing to do. And the other thing is that I'm getting paid tomorrow. I get money tomorrow. So part of this slippage and this, slide into poor eating had to do with having so little money for food, so that I was just kind of squeaking by. And now I can actually go out and buy recipe ingredients from the Wheat Belly cookbook. And I started out this morning with breakfast, a real breakfast. I got the cookbook out and I found something called it's a quick, like quiche Lorraine. Basically, I made two of them in little, what do you call those? Little ceramic dishes, oven-proof dishes. And I used 4 eggs, 2 tablespoons of almond meal, or maybe it was 4 tablespoons of almond meal. And what did I have? I had green pepper and olives. Kalamata olives. I should have sauteed them, browned them on the skillet before I put them in the oven. I didn't see that part of the recipe. And I should have cooked it longer. They were supposed to cook at 350 for 12 minutes. Actually, I think it's more like 350 for 18 minutes. And brown the olives and brown whatever, like if you're using onions or whatever you're using, brown it first. It wasn't quite done, and it was kind of soupy, but I was so hungry I just ate it, and I could have cooked longer. But after I finished with it, I felt, kind of full, like my body had gotten something that it could work with, and even though I was still a little hungry. It would have been nice to have maybe a little wheat belly bread, something, but I didn't have that. So, I just dealt with it, and I was drinking a lot of coffee with half and half. So anyway, so that's it, and also Truvia instead of sugar. Okay, so I'm on a better turn, and I'm going to start cooking recipes, real recipes. And the other thing I wanted to report was that when I went into group meditation this morning, one of my experiences in the past when I would go to group meditation was when I get up in the morning, I would always be dealing with huge amounts of blowing my nose. And so that it wasn't really meditation as it was, much it was as just dealing with my runny nose, with people around me who are going to be annoyed by me always pulling out my handkerchief and blowing my nose, and also me feeling very uncomfortable, not really being able to settle down into the meditation. Now, even just 12 hours of no grains, I noticed this morning, even though I had a little runny nose, it was, I would say, a third better, and I really could breathe. This breathing thing is, I can't express enough my pleasure at the fact that this wheat thing is a allergen for me, and that by not indulging in it, I'm cutting down the allergic reaction. And so by just not eating the corn chips, and what else was I doing? Corn chips, and what was my other big thing? Well, the sugars. But especially, I'm not sure what exactly. It's a symbiosis, but less mucus. And I'm hoping that by cutting out all grain and going to all low glycemic sweeteners, that I will be able to actually go into my meditation in the morning with totally clear sinuses, not even having to pull out my handkerchief once. These are small things. This is not a major thing, but just even tweaking something simple like this up. I like to get up and do my group meditation in the morning. We are here meditating for world peace together. That's our goal. And it would be nice to be able to get up and participate fully, deeply in the meditation and not have this little health concern which is impeding my ability to go, nice settled meditation in the morning. And also not disturbing those around me with all my nose blowing, and, nobody likes to do that. But what are you going to do if your nose is running? It's not, you don't have a lot of alternatives. So anyway, so that's it. Just wanted to report this moment of clarity that I don't want to have bad results. I don't want to have a big weight gain. They do, a lot of the experience of people who are really on the wheat belly diet is that they are able to maintain their weight and even lose weight. And I'm thinking, I don't think these people are lying. I think that if you do it right, that's the results you'll get. And I would like to get myself below 130 and maintain that during this work cycle. And so what I'm going to have to do is just shop and cook. Constant shopping and cooking. And that's okay. It's better than the alternative of gaining the weight and then, coming to after the project's over and then having to lose 20 pounds. It's just such a waste of time. I just can't tell you how much I don't want to have to do that. I want to have that time freed up to move forward as opposed to with my exercise goals, other goals, and not just constantly be, pushing back from some lapse and some weight gain. Anyway, so that's it. That's what I have to report today, and more will be revealed.